are now tuned in to the world's greatest. Tonight is the night. Bright lights, hype crowd. Here we keep the throw down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list can't miss when we burn it to the ground. Everybody get down. Tonight is the night. We stay grinding while our big cat rises. Steady climbing, now we on top. It's not something you get. It's just something we got. 'Cause I don't know if you know if you know we playing or not. Tonight, lights flashing when we step in the place, and you can feel the raw excitement from the look on their face. It's like the prize right in front of my eyes to take, and the sky's the limit, got no time to waste. Tonight's the big go, strike quick but creep slow. The competition is absent the moment that we show. Countdown from 3, go, press X to reload. Yet they still try to topple the kingdom that we own. Outnumbered but outgunning, we're fearless and crowd stunning. Never an error on record, there's no one to protect you. And we would still be right here if all the money was burned, but we stay bumping in your ear 'cause the money was earned. Yo, you can find us climbing, setting the bar, or you can find us red carpet when we hitting it hard. 'Cause the truth is you can find us wherever you are. Just look up, we're flying high with the stars. 'Cause tonight is the night. Bright lights, hype crowd, here we keep the throw down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list can't miss when we burn it to the ground. Everybody get down. Tonight is the night. We stay grinding while our big cat rises. Steady climbing, now we on top. It's not something you get, it's just something we got. 'Cause I don't know if you know if you know we playing or not. Tonight, you tuning in to a lesson in skill.
Welcome,
You hear the static
ladies
on the
and gentlemen, to the live edition of a Raw Recap here for Pro Talk Wrestling. I am your host, Nate, the now effing great, and I am here live talking to you guys about Monday Night Raw, what'll happen, and it is going to be very, very interesting to talk about because, once again, WWE has done it to where they've kind of done this rise and wave of emotions, and Monday Night Raw ratings are going to be interesting, to say the least. But the Chicago crowd, always great to see, always great to hear from those guys, and always great to just watch them have creative chants and just be so passionate about the world of professional wrestling. So we're going to talk about that, but before I get into that, I just thought I'd like to tell everybody that apparently at UFC 200, Mickey Gall is going to go one-on-one with Phillip Brooks, as a lot of people you know, as CM Punk. And it's going to be on, it looks like it's going to be July 9th, 2016. So I think this was originally planned, but then it got postponed. So it looks like the match is back on. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see how things go for Monday Night Raw. Not for Monday Raw, for UFC. I already talked about how I felt about CM Punk and, you know, the fact that it's kind of like, okay. And I just had to message somebody really quick. So, gonna go straight into Monday Night Raw, which kicked off with the triumphant return of what I like to think is the prodigal son of the WWE of professional wrestling, and that is Shane McMahon returns. He comes out, addresses the comments that Vince McMahon made last week, saying that he was going to, take him out of his will and renounce him as a son, and he said that, in his sarcastic tone, that he deserves to be Father of the Year, and Shane just was saying that only drives him more to do better because Vince doesn't know his fans anymore. He is so out of the loop. He is not in touch with so many different people, and he's just not in the groove of it anymore. And Shane O'Mac, he definitely really delivered it with his promo, talking about, giving people who have no talent zero opportunity, and giving people with true talent the opportunities that they deserved. And honestly, great, because tonight was a night about opportunity, and they've actually done a great job, even though there were some points where it was just kind of like, But suddenly you hear gong, lights go out, and is it Undertaker? No, it's somebody a lot darker than The Undertaker. It is Vinnie Mac. Vince McMahon comes out to a plethora of boos. And Vince McMahon is almost like surprised, like, wait, you're going to boo me? I'm giving you entertainment and you're booing me? It's like, yeah, Vince, we're going to boo you because right now you are not that in touch with the fan base anymore. You're just not, you just don't have it anymore. And Vince McMahon just talks about, renouncing his will. And by the way, it's all going to go to Stephanie McMahon. It's like, okay, we knew that already. Thank you, Captain Obvious. You're just repeating what your son just said. And he's talking about how he's going to basically have no chance against The Undertaker at Mania. And he says, I'm going to escort you out of my building. Security! Get him out of here. And about 4 security guys come out. And next thing you know, they're just trying to be calm with him, saying, okay, we're just going to take you out. We got no problems. Shane, on the other hand, had other ideas. He just beats the living hell out of most of these security guys with knees, some punches, classic Shane O'Mac style. It was a great, great way to kick off Monday Night Raw. And Shane O'Mac left on his own accord, which, rightfully so. So I am, again, looking forward to seeing how this matchup plays against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. This is the matchup I think that I'm going to be looking forward to the most, other than probably Roman Reigns and Triple H, which I will talk about in a bit. But, continuing on with Monday Night Raw, we have our first matchup of the evening, and it is Kevin Owens versus Neville. And, wow, this matchup you got really into, and it just was an amazing, amazing match between these two guys. They really showed off what I think was almost match of the night, but there was another matchup later on that was indeed better. But this matchup was still very good. It was definitely close to pay-per-view quality. There were a couple kinks every now and then. But Kevin Owens picked up the win with a small package using the tights. Kevin Owens gets the W and attacks Neville. But then Neville was about to get powerbombed by Kevin Owens, and it was going to happen on the apron. Some people make it seem like, oh, he's going to go for a powerbomb. But then you hear Sami Zayn's music. Sami Zayn comes out, and the fans just mark the frick out of this entire deal. And honestly, it was just so perfectly timed. I don't care what a lot of people might say. It was just an amazing, amazing moment. And we got to see, finally, the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens confrontation. And we may indeed, in fact, see the Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match at... let's hopefully see it happen at WrestleMania. Let's see if WWE cannot, wreck this. But there's no way that they could probably do it. I think even if they just announce it, they're fine. Just let Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens just be themselves and let them have a great matchup. We go into a backstage segment with Stephanie McMahon and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler apparently posted a tweet that he was talking about how, Shane wins, he gets to knock the Authority out of power, just like he did a couple years ago, but then he had to take down that tweet. And obviously it was a work because Stephanie talked about that, and she said that, yeah, you did that, but we're still in power, so we're going to have you fight in a tag team elimination matchup. Going to be 3 members of the League of Nations versus you and 0 partners. So you're working at it all alone. And Dolph just said, I would have it no other way. Honestly, this would be awesome. If they would have just had, just be a repeat of what happened at Survivor Series, that would be great. And no, I'm not talking about this last year. I'm talking about the Survivor Series that was actually awesome. And my jaw dropped, and I almost cried because I was a true wrestling fan. And I thought, yes, they finally did something great with Dolph Ziggler. And unfortunately, they've done nothing else since then. So, go into the next matchup, which is Brie Bella versus Summer Rae in what was basically just a time filler, I guess. Lana comes out in the middle of the matchup. Summer Rae rolls up Brie for the quick 1, 2, 3 in a very weird rolling pin deal. And then we see Lana hit Brie with the, well, you might as well just call it the X Factor. X-Pac's the only one that makes it really that, makes it that famous. And honestly, the way Lana hit it was actually really good. She made it look very, very powerful, very good. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they go into this. Obviously, I think that they're going to have Lana versus Brie at WrestleMania. I don't think it should be on the main card. If anything, I think it should be on the pre-show. Just because there's really not that much in the way of, a story there. Because really, it's all come up because Lana just makes fun of, Daniel Bryan. Brie makes fun of Rusev. And it's just kind of like that deal where it's just like a battle for who gets away with who, insults whose husband. I guess. I don't know. It's really confusing, but I'm interested in seeing how this goes. Dean Ambrose came out for a segment talking about his matchup with Triple H this Saturday at Roadblock, talking about being the champion and talking about how, Triple H think they have plans for the title. Roman Reigns thinks he has plans for the title, but I'm going to change all that. I'm going to, he says that he's going to hijack this Saturday. He's going to hijack the championship, and he's going to hijack WrestleMania. A little bit like Daniel Bryan, but I'm very interested to see how this matchup goes, regardless of how it ends. Whether Dean Ambrose wins or Triple H wins, I think it's going to be an amazing matchup. Triple H comes out, and he just, continues to push down Dean, and he says that, this was the interesting part about this promo. He actually said that Roadblock is just, just a stupid name that a guy in marketing just came up with, and that Dean Ambrose was no roadblock to Triple H on the road to WrestleMania. First of all, you don't want to diss the marketing team unless, we're going to take a shot at you. You can't really do that. Come on. I mean, these are the guys who are actually trying to make your company actually continue to strive because you guys don't know how to do that, apparently. And secondly, you basically say Dean Ambrose is just you're just belittling Dean, I should say. And it's going to be interesting because if Dean Ambrose wins, then could it possibly be Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, or is Triple H going to get involved and make it into a triple threat match? I don't know. But interestingly enough, Dean Ambrose just said, you're talking a big game, but unfortunately I can't really hear you. I think you hit me so hard in the ear I can't really hear that well. Why don't you come down to the ring and let's, hear you say that to my face. Triple H just says, you want me to come down there? Well, no. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen because you're going to have to wait until Saturday. But in the meantime, you got Bray Wyatt tonight. A very interesting feud, but I think it's going to be one of those feuds that people are still going to talk about. So Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose is set for the main event. I am just hoping that they do something more with Dean Ambrose, and I'm hoping they also do something good with Brock Lesnar, because how this is all, culminating, I'm just not sure where they're really going with everything that they've done. But actually, Dean Ambrose tells Triple H to suck it, which I thought was actually pretty funny, even though that's a little bit of gimmick infringement. It's still funny just to see Dean Ambrose just, be Dean Ambrose. He's the fucking man. So we go into the next matchup, which is the 3-on-1 handicap elimination matchup, which features Dolph Ziggler against Sheamus, Rusev, and finally the return of Wade Barrett. Honestly, I thought to myself, oh, thank God, finally. We got a talented guy coming in. We're ready to go. And during the matchup, Wade Barrett actually went into the ring post, and it looked like he really hurt his shoulder. You just hear him just, screaming. He's like, ah! I'm thinking, oh boy, he probably injured his shoulder again, didn't he? Which is never a good thing. But Dolph Ziggler actually got a pinfall on Wade Barrett after a super kick, and then apparently they decided, oh, well, Wade Barrett just needed to get out. So we're going to just have Rusev and Sheamus double team with a roundhouse kick and then a brogue kick. 1, 2, 3. League of Nations is victorious in a very pointless match, to say the least. Because unless, they would have had Dolph Ziggler, battling against either Rusev or Sheamus, then that would have been fine. Get like 2 eliminations and then have that deal. That would have been okay. But just to have Wade Barrett lose, it just doesn't settle well with me. Now I can understand also why he probably wants to leave the company, which I haven't really gotten to talk about, but I'll probably talk about that in a little bit. we have a very good Divas matchup, which featured Naomi and